Last time on Total Drama Island.
I took on Fire Red, and it took a little longer than expected. There were some losses, and a final triumph, but the challenge is far from over, and now we take on the next generation of Pokemon. Will I spend another 30 hours on just Heart Gold? Will I end up using all members of my party instead of just one? Will I even make it past the first gym without failing? All these questions and more answered in this episode of Pokemon 100 Hours. Starting with Heart Gold, I had the choice between a Burmy, Oddish, or Lunatone. Burmy is cute, but this is a Nuzlocke, so I chose Oddish. Not a great Pokemon, but we'll be fine, right? Right. Side note, if you don't know what a Nuzlocke is, go check out part 1 where I explain it all in the first couple minutes. Now, let's skip straight to Gym 1 because until this point, I was playing this side by side with Fire Red because that is how annoyed I was getting at the amount of times I failed in Fire Red. So, I chose to play both games at the same time. Also, you can't see the timer here because I'm stupid and forgot to scroll down at this time. But, it will be fixed by the second gym at least. The Oddish and a Nidorina I caught would make their way through this gym. Not easily, because they aren't fantastic Pokemon, but we got through. Next, I went and got this egg from this dude at the mart and caught a Mamoswine in the next route, which meant that I finally had some power on my team. After making it through Union Cave, I went out and fought this hiker, who thought it would be really funny if he sent Deoxys against me. Don't worry though, I had it under control and made it into the next town. It was just a bit of a scare. After dealing with the Team Rocket stuff, it was time for the second gym leader. Bugsy was fortunately not much of a challenge. He had a Weezing, Cherubi, and Slowpoke, all of which I had counters for, and I made it out of the second gym with 79 hours left in the challenge. I do have to say though, I don't have many complaints about the early Pokemon games, but the battling in Heart Gold and Diamond as well is so slow, and it does get on my nerves. Anyway, I forced myself to train my Pokemon up a bit before going into the third gym because I knew that the levels in the third gym would be much higher than what I was ready for. But when I ended up going in to face Whitney, I made it through the battle quite well, and you know what? I was surprised. This run has been going way too well. Something was bound to go wrong soon, and yeah, like always, I was definitely on something when thinking that. Just you wait. I then went to talk to this guy between routes and he gave me a Dragonair, which was good because I always sort of feel empty without a Dragon type on my team. There's something about it. I quickly moved on to the fourth gym and it wasn't too much trouble. Morty started with a Charmeleon that had Dragon Rage, which scared me a little, but once I took that out, the rest of the battle went fine. And you know what? This run, I'm actually using every member of my team. Who would have thought? That does not sound like me. I didn't think it, at least. And then I took the Lighthouse route, which was fantastic for XP, because you can choose the Lighthouse route or you can go towards the Red Gyarados. I usually take the Red Gyarados route though, and you know what? I probably should have done it this time, but I took the Lighthouse route because I thought it would be less challenging, and it was briefly. But yeah, I was really trying not to lose the Nuzlocke, and I sadly made the wrong choice. You'll see why in just a sec. I got very lucky fighting Chuck, as he had 2 weak water types, which meant that I could use Gloom to easily take them out. Unfortunately, like I keep saying, this luck would not last long. And after beating Chuck, I took the secret potion straight over and went in to fight the 6th gym. Terrible idea. Why did I do that? Why didn't I train, just think about it for like 2 seconds longer? But I got through Jasmine's Persian fine with Dragon Rage because Kenya is a beast. Dragon types are just beasts, let's be honest. And then, yeah, once I saw the rest of her team, my only chance was to continue using Dragon Rage, but she was taking out all of my power. There goes Mamoswine, and yeah, just one by one, after Kenya fell, the rest of my team was gone. She was too high level compared to me, and I had nothing that was super effective against her Pokemon. I just got no luck here. I missed 3 sleep powders in a row against the Skarmory. Like, how do you control that? I don't even think she used like Sand Attack or anything. There's nothing I could do. But anyway, 5 hours into this run of Heart Gold, I lost. It was time for the first restart of Generation 2. And hopefully the last, but you never really know, hey. Let's see. This time, for a starter, I got a Torchic, which is already infinitely better than the last run, because that Oddish did not help me as much as I thought it would. Within the hour, I beat the first gym, then caught a Chikorita as my Union Cave encounter, and a Marshtomp as my outside Union Cave encounter. It seems like I got lucky, but I did skip every other encounter of the game up until that point, because they weren't good enough for me. The second gym was easy because of this, then I caught a Dragonair in a Dragonite in Ilex Forest and beat the third gym soon after. My egg then hatched into an Aggron this time, which I used to beat the fourth gym. I again headed towards the lighthouse this time and soon beat Chuck, and now finally I was back to where I was last run, except 3 hours later. The game did not want to go easy on me. Jasmine had a level 30 Flygon, a level 35 Rhyperior, and a level 30 Houndoom, when a majority of my team was sitting at like level 25. Great. I used Aggron to set up iron defenses and while against the Rhyperior, and that would set me up for the rest of the battle, which meant that Aggron was able to take out all of her Pokemon. MVP right there. Straight after this, I went and caught the Red Gyarados encounter, which was an Elekid. A little disappointing because the shiny isn't that cool, but I was happy to have it on the team nonetheless. Similar to the unrandomized game, Price had no Pokemon that challenged my team, and straight after, I quickly took down Team Rocket. This run, things were just going my way. None of the main trainer battles seemed to have legendaries or anything super challenging, or except for Jasmine, but we don't talk about her. That was a one-off. Let's just say that all those challenging Pokemon that were saved from these fights would make it to the end of the game just to make it a bit more enjoyable for me. And you know what? After I beat Archer here, I just realized that this would be the last of Team Rocket for the next 100 hours, or for the rest of the 100 hours, at least. Thank God. That is a weight off my chest, weight off my shoulders, because Team Rocket can get a little tedious. I hate to say it, but all of the teams can. Let's be honest here. Anyway, I had now broken the 70-hour mark as I was heading into the last gym, and I wasn't even through the second generation. I really had to get moving. I was trying to go as fast as I could. Anyway, Claire didn't have a very good team, and I got the last badge quite easily and quickly. I was really trying to move fast here, but I couldn't help but think that something was about to go very wrong. Like always, I always think that whenever things are going well, I think that something's going to go wrong. It's the same in Pokemon and it's the same in real life. It's just the way it is. Anyway, I had spent way too much time in Generation 1, and it was time for me to start making that time back. Then I moved on to catch my Ho-Oh encounter, which was Dialga, who would be a very important weapon when heading in to fight the Elite Four. Now it was time to do exactly that, because Dialga and Blaziken made Victory Row a piece of cake this time. Very different to the last generation. I went in the first room to face Will, the most forgettable character in Pokemon. He didn't really want me to forget this battle though, as he started with a Mewtwo, which was fantastic. I switched in my Dialga and was able to take it out with that. I am very glad I caught Dialga in a Master Ball and didn't accidentally kill him or anything, because Dialga truly became my crutch in the Elite Four. Don't know who to go to? Oh, let's send out Dialga. The rest of the battle wasn't too difficult from here, because all members of my team could actually hold their own. Blaziken was able to take out the Victory Bell and the Blissey. Then Meganium took down the College Age how do you say that word? Stunky. And after the battle, my Marshtomp finally evolved into Swampert. Probably a little late in the game to be having that happen, you know, probably should have done that like a while back, but oh well, it's fine. Then I headed in to fight Koga, who again started with another legendary. Great, it's fun. A very unfortunate coincidence that the first two members of the Elite Four both started with legendaries. Like, how does that happen? I had a counter for the rest of Koga's team, which meant that 2 trainers into the Elite Four, I still had not lost a Pokemon. I think that I played it pretty smart so far, because it's not like the battles were super easy, but you know, I hadn't lost a Pokemon. I was still running my way through the Elite Four quite well, and now 2 trainers in, going in to fight Bruno. who would be a change of pace, we'll say at least. Bruno started with a Belgium, which I could eventually take out with my Blaziken, and then I took down his Hippopotas with my Swampert, and his Drifloon with my Electabuzz. It's going easy, right? It's a simple battle. Yeah, you're wrong. You're dead wrong. I sent out my Meganium to fight the Kingler. Seems like a good matchup. And then he switched into a Zubat. And when he did that, I was locked into Petal Dance. I ended up losing my first Pokemon in the Elite Four. Coincidentally, also the first Pokemon I caught in the run. Then, while fighting Kingler, he ends up stomping my Electabuzz and taking it out. And then, in the most lucky thing I've ever seen, old mate hits a damn guillotine, 30% chance to hit on my Dragonite. Just watch, just watch this. Dragon Rage, oh nice, yeah, nice. He hits a damn guillotine. What? I mean, how unlucky can one be? I then went in to my crutch, who saved me, but the damage was already done. I just lost half my team, and now I have another 2 trainers to go in the rest of the game. And of course, Karen had to start with an Articuno. It just wouldn't be fair otherwise, now would it? Luckily, Swampert was able to take it down, otherwise I might have had a little bit of a rage. She then had a Doduo, which was no problem for Blaziken, but of course she also has a Blastoise and a Latias, which without Dialga I would not have been able to take down. My absolute crutch. Dialga's head, you see that big part pointing out the top? That's where my arm sat. I was sitting on that. Anyway, after the Abra went down, it was time for the final battle. The make or break moment of this run. My heart was racing as I walked up to Faint Slants. With my team of 3 Pokemon, 2 of which are very underleveled, I got through the Gulpin. Then the Turtwig. Then the Natu. All was going well, and hope was not lost as I took out the Metang. Nothing could stand in my way. Bye-bye, Moth. And finally, the circle on my screen was flicked away by the godsend that has been Blaziken. I took down Lance on only the 2nd run of Heart Gold. So much better than what I did on Fire Red. We made back some of the time that was lost in that first part. But still, the challenge is very, very far from over. Trust me, I played it. 68 hours left. Let me just tell you now, you are going to want to stick around because this challenge was a lot closer than I thought it would be. Just you wait and see. Minutes matter, fellas. Minutes matter, I'm telling you. Minutes matter. Now, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching.